Thank you, everyone. My name is Federico Rossi. I'm an assistant professor at Sant'Anna School of Advanced Studies, the same university as Stefano, but I work in a different group. Basically, I am part of the Cogito Lab. As you can see, it is quite a big group. We have several people. We are engaged, especially in the field of life cycle assessment. That is an environmental impact assessment methodology that we applied to steelmaking, to foundry sector, but also transversally to other application fields. We integrate often LCA with circular economy analysis, decarbonization strategies, and all that is related to sustainability, environmental, economic, and social perspective. And that's why we have a very interdisciplinary team that is working both in the social and technical sciences. Well, this presentation, I'm going to show the basics of LCA methodology, to show a small demonstration of how it can be applied to steelmaking in the case of inspired from the case of ALCHIMIA. So LCA has it's already standardized and consolidated methodology because there are already two ISO standards for it. There is ISO 40040 and ISO 40044, and actually there are also more standards that are more specific depending on the application field. However, the very general guidelines say that LCA should follow 4 steps: goal and scope definition, that in this case is to calculate the environmental burdens and the main environmental hotspot of steel produced. Life cycle inventory is basically a quantification of all inputs and outputs that are exchanged between the product process under evaluation and the environment. Life cycle impact assessment is basically the conversion of life cycle inventory flows into environmental impact categories or environmental impact indicators. And at the end, life cycle interpretation, in which we interpret the results and we check their consistency with the initial objective of the analysis. Of course, these 4 stages shall be conducted sequentially, but they are all interacted with each other, because once results are interpreted, we may apply changes to the goal and scope definition. One of the key aspects that shall be addressed while designing the goal and scope of the study are the system boundaries, where we draw a schema, flowchart of the process, highlighting all the inputs and the outputs. The functional unit is also very important because it shall be the reference unit to which results will be related. Life cycle inventory, here is a summary of how life cycle inventory works. Basically, during the development of the life cycle inventory stage, we fill some tables where we quantify all inputs and outputs that have been drawn in the system boundaries. Of course, these numbers are only examples, and they are not representative of the actual numbers of the plants involved in ALCHIMIA. Then we export this data into a software, CIMAPRO, where primary data are linked to background data that in this case is eco-invent. Basically, the background data fill the data gaps that cannot be measured. For example, all the upstream and downstream processes that are outside system boundaries. Now the software also allows to make a life cycle impact assessment very easily. So we can select the life cycle impact assessment method that in this case is environmental footprint 3.1 recommended by the European Commission. This method returns around 16 environmental impact categories, but there are some of them can be more relevant in some sectors. These are the indicators that are most relevant for steelmaking and the metals sector. During the interpretation, we then visualize results. Again, these results are not really representative of a single company involved in ALCHIMIA, but this is how results are typically displayed. We can make comparisons between different products and identify trade-offs between environmental impact categories. Another important application is the hotspot analysis in order to compare what are the main environmental issues in the steelmaking plant. For example, here we see that electric arc furnace, ladle furnace, and scrap are major environmental concerns for climate change category. And similar considerations can be done across all the indicators. Well, as also you can understand from a previous presentation from Stefano, these results can be useful for a large multitude of applications. For example, Stefano integrated these results into an artificial intelligence and optimization models. But really the applications can be really several, and not only, of course, in the steelmaking sectors. If you search the literature, you will find LCA studies applied to steel, plastic, transport, the agri-food and ICT sector, and the textile. So this is a very powerful and transdisciplinary tool. So thank you for your attention. Here is my contact. You can reach out for any question or doubt. And also this is the QR code to send your questions and comments at the end of the session. Thank you.